Hey folks, welcome to the Face-Off vlogs for season 11. This time around, if you remember from last time, they're gonna do Monster High. And oh boy, they delivered. Oh my goodness, they delivered. Okay, we gotta do clarity on this one. Especially since I actually follow one of the Face-Off contestants, Keegan. I highly recommend you take a look at her Twitter and her Instagram because she does amazing makeup, and I've learned apparently she's a big fan of both Monster High and Never After High. And one thing interesting is that they thought when they were on the bus, even though it was a Mattel themed bus, they're like, oh, we might get to do G.I. Joe again, all the guys thought. And Keegan looked at them like, there's more to Mattel than G.I. Joe, and they already did a G.I. Joe challenge, and I've seen that. This challenge around is they had to take one of the dolls, and they had to make it real, like a little bit more realistic if they did a live action Monster High film, which they were going to do that at one point. I remember seeing that they were going to do that, but apparently either the live action fell through or that was actually the reboot of Welcome to Monster High, which in either case, I don't know. I really don't know. They had the head of Mattel there. She explained the challenge, and they were given whatever dolls were on display, and it was weird seeing the dolls. They had all the dolls, even they had the little dolls of sneak peeks for Electrified. Like they had the Twilight one, they had Timberwolf, who's in the new Electrified film. They had their dolls on there, and I had to make a big estimate when they filmed this. Depending on when they filmed this, you either had them going to do it before the reboot or after the reboot. It's after the reboot. I'm gonna go in order what they had for which dolls they used. They had Dracula, reboot Dracula. They had Claudine. They had original Scalita. They had Cleo Denial. They had Venus before I checked original. And they had Abby. And then they had Laguna. I'm surprised that there's no Frankie because they used Frankie for the promotion material on the Monster High Instagram. I don't know. Maybe because like know Face-Off has done like Frankenstein monsters already. They did the Friday the Frankenstein monster. They've done so much of that, so maybe they need a break from that. I don't know. Who knows? Though the one thing strange is when they were at the lab, they had the banners of the characters stretched out, and I'm just looking at that, and I'm like, oh, that's a dinosaur and not a blatant product placement. Buy your fabulous dolls. Yes, we rebooted, but we promise we're still the same, even though we've kind of changed a lot. Team Werewolf got Cleo, which I was surprised they would pick her. I actually thought they were gonna get Claudine, but Claudine was picked by Nico and Kat, and then Emily and Tyler got Draculaura. Sig and George got Laguna, which I got spoiled by this by looking on the Sci-Fi's website, and I saw Sig and George in front of the Laguna doll. I'm like, oh, guess I know who's doing Laguna. Ben and Evan did Scalita. Gage and Rachel did Venus. Logan and Adam did Abby. Logan and Adam struggled a little bit with Abby. They had two designers, which I'll put their names through this because I can't remember them at the top of my head. They had the designers of the dolls come in, like giving them tips right before they went back to the lab of how they could do their dolls or any advice. One of the designers said that Abby's the daughter of the Abominable Snowman. Yeah, the designer mentions that she also has Yeti tributes. Like, they were originally gonna do like a primate nose on her, but that would take away the cute factor, so they changed the nose a little bit, which I thought was fine. It kind of made more like, kind of almost like Planet of the Apes with the remake of Tim Burton's, how they did the females, like it was like small. One thing I found funny was Sig and George, they have not done beauty makeup at all. I kind of questioned Sig because he literally has a girlfriend who, her name is Randy, who is also a special effects makeup model. And I've seen her design her makeup that Sig, because she models Sig's makeup. And George decided to practice beauty makeup on each other, and I thought that was very funny. I liked George makeup because he knows what it looked like. He knew what he was doing. Tyler and Emily had Draculaura. They did almost like a sweet 16 style makeup, even though she technically had her 16. If we remember Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love. I still don't like that film. When it came to the third day, Team Werewolf, Keegan and Melissa, they made a makeup for Cleo. When they were doing put her face on, it did not look good. It looked like, in their own words, a very old drag queen gone wrong. So they ripped the face off when they got to last looks, and it looks a lot better without the face. I thought the judges were going to be there. The judges weren't there. They had what I thought was cosplayers, because I actually saw one person I follow who's friends with Brianna Garcia on Instagram, and also a cosplayer in her own right. She is absolute nil. She's a doll. She's super sweet. She is well known for cosplaying as Claudine Wolf. She's done so many of them, and I'm surprised that how she's a big super fan. And I thought they're all cosplayers. So during a commercial break, I looked up on Instagram that Monster High posted, and I look at each one. I'm like, only one of them is a cosplayer that does Monster High. The rest all take pictures of the dolls, except for two that look like they're fans of it. But they missed a bad opportunity to get Bad Kid BB on there. She's the best Draculaura in the world. Like, why didn't they get her? She's a super fan in her own right. But they had them as the judges as like a focus group, and they would pick whoever was the winner would get immunity, which is pretty interesting. Though it was so weird having a focus group. They were like, would you consider this makeup to be in the actual film? And they'll be like, yes, no, I don't know. Now we get to the nitty gritty. One that I know that's gonna be something hard to talk about is the last two times I talked about the best and worst makeups. There's no best and worst because I gotta talk about each of the makeups because they're all Monster High. Though surprisingly, I will say there was only a best category. There was no worst. There was only 3 top best. That was it. But I gotta talk about all of them. Yay for doing Escape from Monster High for myself. Let's talk about the 3 best. So we get those out of the way and then we can talk about the others. First one, Sig and George, they did Laguna, and they did a fabulous job on her. She looks camera ready. They changed her up a bit because they had to make her still be a monster, still look cute, but they had to make her more sea creature-esque. And I actually thought that Sig was gonna do the makeup, and he's done something similar to this before. I'm gonna show the picture of what he has done before. I thought he was gonna do something like that, but it's something similar to that, but super toned down, especially since that one had super fishy lips. This one's more toned down. This one looks incredible. I learned that Sig did the wig on Laguna, which, oh my god, this looks super camera ready. I would love to just see this Laguna in an actual live action Monster High film. It would be amazing to see. Even the focus group said that she still retained herself as Laguna, even though they're like, oh, she's a sporty character, and they're talking about the reboot, how she's now into sports, even though we saw her just surfing, and yes, and also swimming and kind of skateboarding. The reboot. I can't even remember what the first Walking Monster High. I can't even remember it well. I can see this Laguna like for a party. This actually looks a lot more better than how her outfit was in Welcome to Monster High for the party outfit a little bit. It actually, the way she is designed, it actually reminds me of her looks earlier on, like in the Monster High films and all films before the reboot, and also the web series, like some of her designs. Tyler and Emily did Draculaura, and this one is super good. They did like a 16 inspired birthday design. They did not do any prosthetics at all beauty makeup. They only put the vampire veins and little pointy ears because she's a vampire. They had like her with balloons. They had like vampire details, like the sharp pointy pines on here, but they also had like little bat wings on there. She had her blue earrings. You could tell it was Draculaura because she was happy, excited, and I say, like, even if they changed the model, this would still be Draculaura, because even with the model, I couldn't see much of Draculaura, but it did have the sense of Draculaura herself. It was wonderful. I would love to have seen a doll of their Draculaura, especially since Emily designed the wig. Emily is always the master of building wigs and creating them because she is a wig maker. And she's still the youngest one in Face Off. 19 when she started her first season on the show. I'm sorry, that still amazes me with her. She's amazing. Ben and Evan strike again, being the best looks this time. They're really redeeming themselves. They did Scalita, and the way they did it is because it's a skeleton. How are you going to do that for prosthetic makeup? Well, you do silicone that has the traces of the bone. They put it all the way up, and you still see parts of the body, but you can actually see a very good outline of the skeleton bone. And that was super cool. It was basically, they did the doll design, which was her normal outfit she wears to school. Did well with sugar candy design. And one thing I found funny is her purse is a lucha mask. It's a little lucha mask. I'm like, I look at that and I'm just like, some girl who loves wrestling would love to have that purse or have it as a backpack, or whoever loves the Lucha Underground. I love it. Ben and Evan are having a big redemption streak, especially since the first episodes. And even the focus group loved the way they did her features. Even one of them was like, even though this is gonna sound creepy, I would love to take her home with me and put her on my shelf. And I'm like, a little bit creepy, but if it was a doll form, yeah, they would. Especially since they already did like a Day of the Dead inspired Scalita, which was only exclusive on Amazon, but then is also at Walmart. Make up your mind, retail people. We're gonna get to the looks that were in the top, but I gotta still talk about them. First up, let's talk about Team Werewolf so we get them out of the way. I mentioned that they ripped the face piece off of Cleo, and they did a good job. Actually, they did not need that face piece because it would have not looked. It doesn't look good, but without it, they did their best beauty makeup. I really wish I could see her eyebrows, because the eyebrows make Cleo. But the way the makeup looks, that's Cleo denial. That is totally Cleo denial. She looks amazing, incredible. I love the prosthetics with the band-aids. That is amazing, especially the super detail that is in the episode, which I hate there's no pictures of that one showing the details, but they look incredible. And if you're able to find this episode, like, I recommend Amazon, because if you put it up on Amazon, it will cost like $1.99, $2. You can get, or 99 cents. I don't know what they do with Amazon, but I recommend buying the episode. It's just watching them work on these makeups and making them bring to life, because Melissa did an amazing job with the details. I freaking love the details. Next up, we have Logan and Adam on Abby. Now, how can you turn Abby to real life makeup? Well, the clever thing they did was they decided to make her a snowboarder, which if you do that for the reboot, that actually works for her. She's a snowboarder, and they actually asked the designer, can she be a snowboarder? And she's like, yeah, totally. She lives in the snowy mountains. She has to be a snowboarder. I'm okay with that if they do it for the reboot. I like the way they did the design. I'm okay. I loved I don't care what the focus group said, that they said her nose looked like Voldemort. I really don't care. I thought it looked fine. The one thing I found super goofy was the mammoth purse. It's like everything looks nice and perfect. A close up of the mammoth purse. It's just like it's so goofy looking. It's adorable Abby. I really wish I had the adorable Abby counter for it, because that's still an adorable Abby, and I think she's perfect for the camera. I don't care what the focus group said. I'm okay with the nose. Sorry. Next up, we got Nico and Kat doing Claudine. They stuck more close to the reboot doll, which was fine. ish, until you got to the eyebrows. Claudine, they gave her the most massive eyebrows. They're like this thick, going this way, and I'm just like, I don't think Claudine has that big of eyebrows. The werewolf makeup was good, very good, but then they got to the hair. They originally were going to apply the hair by doing the special pull away where they apply the hair onto the model and pull it away, but when they did the first time, it didn't look right, so they did little pulls of hair, put them on the wrist, and then curled them a bit. But you can't fool that with a focus group. It's not, yes, it's an immunity challenge, just not elimination, but it still did not look right when they curled it. And I looked at it, I'm like, you did a bad job, Nico. You did a bad job. Especially since I think so many times I've seen werewolves on the show, I feel like it's gonna get to a point where I'm gonna be like, okay, they're doing werewolves again? No more! Joking. I wouldn't do that. Next up, we got Venus McFlytrap. The one thing weird is that I never knew that Venus had a pet flytrap? Carnivorous flytrap? Gage was saying that the flytrap's name was, oh my god, it was like, yeah, I think it was Chillian. And I'm like, that's a bad pun. It was just, I know they were trying to make it like, the way they did the Venus flytrap part, they looked a little bit cartoony-ish. I actually would have liked something more inspired by, Audrey 2 from the show Harbors with that, but it's just a makeup challenge. I actually didn't like their Venus for parts of it. Parts of it didn't look right. I did not like the super long teeth. They had like the super long, like gnarly teeth, but they were super long. I thought that didn't look right. They could have shrunken it a little bit, like get a little bit smaller. At first I didn't like the vines. They didn't look right. It was like, ugh, they looked squished up. It looked like rope on her neck. Though from a distance, it looks just like Venus. A little bit up close with the vines around the neck, it did not look good. But what can you do? And you're wondering who won this challenge after I talked about all the makeups? Sig and George. And that was not the only thing they won. They won immunity, but they also won some Monster High products, which would include some of the dolls and a few other things. I have no clue what else they got. And they would get a special shout out on all of the Monster High social medias. So it would be their Instagram, their Twitter, probably the website, probably Facebook. Overall, I actually was very satisfied with the way that all of the Face Off All-Stars did the makeup for this challenge. It actually looked like they were having a lot of fun with it. I did learn behind the scenes facts about this one from following Keegan's Twitter. Like, before she even left to do the filming for Face Off for the season, she watched all the Monster High films till New York. And I'm just like, wait, oh my god. I was like surprised. And then she's like, when they went back to the lab, she played the theme song for everyone to get them in the mood. Like the main song, We Are Monsters, We Are Proud, not the new one they have for the reboot. And I'm just like, Keegan she's incredible. She's super sweet. My goodness. I feel so happy I was able to meet her at Scare LA a couple years back. Looking back, I was super nervous. If I meet her again, and if she even remembers me, hi, I'm that girl that was wearing that Breakfast at Frankenstein shirt that was very nervous. How are you doing? Next week on Face Off, they didn't really give what the actual theme of it is, but I actually did pull up what the title is. They are going to do Snow Queens. So that's pretty exciting. Though the promo actually gave that young Emily, she is a cinnamon bun that must be protected. She admitted that she had never seen Star Wars. Oh, she's gonna get an earworm out of everybody in the lab. Oh, the poor baby. I would ask her, how come you never see Star Wars? But that's another time for the next vlog. I probably talked about this for too long. All I got for today's vlog, folks. So until next time, I will see you all in the Peace. I'll see you in 11 vlogs later.